welcome back to my channel. Today I have another Friday Faves and Fails. I only have one fail this week, which is actually balanced with a fave from the same line, and it's this Hyaluronic Acid Booster Serum from Primark. It's not specifically that this is a terrible product, it's just that I really don't get along with the texture of it. It's very sticky. So these are the booster serums from the PS Beauty range, and I have the Niacinamide one, which I put on today. What I like about this, the more I use it, the more I think it's actually doing something for my skin. It's supposed to help with oil control. It is, I think, supposed to help with kind of brightness and pigmentation. It's definitely one of the ingredients in my Skin and Me subscription, because that's what I'm using of an evening. And I'm just looking for simple skincare that I can use in the morning before applying makeup or before applying my sunscreen. And these seemed like a really nice solution. Now, I was sent one of these, the Niacinamide I was sent, and the Hyaluronic one I actually purchased. They're only about £3 or £4. But the difference in the texture is what I wanted to highlight, because the Niacinamide one is very, very liquidy. I put it on my skin and it kind of feels fresh. It feels like it absorbs quite quickly, and then I can put on a moisturizer or whatever it is I'm going in with next. Whereas the Hyaluronic Acid, I have to be more sparing. It's a lot stickier. There's nothing necessarily wrong with it, but I don't think it's something that I could use in the daytime, and that is what I'm looking for. I'm going to use it up at some point. Probably I'll use it in the day when I'm not really going to put anything over the top other than SPF, but I'm just putting it out there. They are different consistencies. Staying on the skincare theme, I recently opened a new bottle, tube, came in a box, of this Pixi Rose Flash Balm. I've had it in my drawer for a little while unopened. Specifically, I was saving it for the winter time. This is one of my favourite daytime skincare products. If you remember the Clarins Beauty Flash Balm being like all the rage, it's very, very similar to that. In the video I'm actually going to show you, I'm using way too much because I was just kind of focusing on the video, and then I looked at my hands and thought, this is a lot of product. You really only need a small amount, moisturizer or less, and when you put it on your skin, it kind of refreshes, it feels a little bit cool, and it's a nice, it's somewhere between a moisturizer and kind of like a primer in texture and feel on your skin. I put it on, I feel already like I probably don't need anything else, because it feels, I can't even explain it. If you've never used it before, it's really unusual, but I suppose primer would be the closest if you are looking for kind of like a point of reference. But it feels like I've put something on my face. It feels like a makeup-y type product. Definitely something that I would use in the morning. And then if I'm going to use that, I'm usually only using a concealer. That's already given me this kind of slightly perkier, woken up feeling. Whether or not I can see it on my skin, I think I can, but it could be psychosomatic or not. I really do enjoy it for a wake up skin feel. I then go in with a concealer, and my all-time favorite concealer, I really don't think this is going to be beaten, is the Bobbi Brown Pot Corrector. It's called the Corrector. The one that I have that I use the most is Porcelain Peach. You will see it's very well used. This lasts forever. I've got a couple of colours of this. One is more of a pinky colour for dark circles, but this is the one I use the most. And it doesn't give a tremendous amount of coverage. You can build it up, and it never looks cakey or heavy. But just initially, I like to just have it a little bit all over, any kind of redness. It gives me that evened out complexion, but it doesn't feel as heavy as you would imagine, given that it is a cream product. It also has a decent amount of staying power, and like I say, you can build it up if you want to. If you're using this over the top of something else, you can build it to a really decent coverage. But if you're looking for something that is very forgiving, it's going to be better if your skin is a little bit older and you are struggling with things falling into fine lines. I think you'll really like this. And again, it's something that you wouldn't necessarily reach for because it is a cream, and you think it's going to be terrible. It's not. I don't know how it works. It's very, very blendable. It doesn't settle in the same way that liquid ones do. And it's one that I go back to time and time again for all over my face. I have a couple of hair products that I want to talk about. The Ameliorate Clarifying Shampoo. Both myself and my husband are using this at the moment. I don't suffer with dandruff year round. He does, and he uses medicated shampoos and things all of the time. Some are like really hardcore, and some are just kind of head and shoulders. But he's tried all of them, and he likes this. And I only reach for medicated dandruff shampoos or anti-dandruff shampoos in the wintertime. At the moment, I'm really struggling with, I mean, dry shampoo does not help, but I'm really struggling with dandruff, specifically here. I have a feeling that it's partly the weather, and it's partly that my skincare kind of travels while I'm sleeping, and perhaps my scalp is a little bit more sensitive than my facial skin, and so it's peeling shedding, whatever. It's all gross, regardless of what you call it, but I have a dandruff situation. It's deep cleansing, and it says it's got prebiotics, lactitol, I don't think I've heard of that before, xylitol, and it's combined with our unique LAH6 skin hydration complex. It smells very similar to Ameliorate, so if that's not for you, it's got kind of like a baby shampoo, kind of. It is more baby shampoo-y than the original Ameliorate fragrance, but I am aware that that's not for everyone. And I do quite like it anyway, so it's just not off-putting. But if you are looking for an anti-dandruff shampoo that's actually going to care for your hair at the same time, this is really, really nice. I haven't used the conditioner yet because I'm using something else. I was watching a video, I can't remember who it was that said it, but it was in a vlog. And she said that at least once a week, she will put a hair mask on her hair when it's dry while she's just doing things. So she knows she's going to get in the bath or the shower. About half an hour, even a few hours before, she'll put a hair mask in the ends of her hair, tie it up, and like go about her day. So she's like editing, or she's cleaning, or she's working, if you're working from home, doing whatever. And then as and when she gets in the shower, she's done the hair mask. And I don't know why I don't think to do this. I've definitely done it in the past, but it's never kind of top of mind. And since I watched that, probably a month or so ago, that's how I've been using hair masks. And I'm really, really enjoying this one. It was sent to me. It's from the L'Oreal Blondifier professional range. And I get the impression that this is supposed to be kind of their nod to, what is it called? Olaplex. I mean, it's called Blondifier, but Bond, you know? I feel like it's definitely insinuated, but I've never actually tried Olaplex. It smells really, really nice. I mean, you can see I'm kind of like almost out with it. And I'm only putting it on the ends. I'm putting it kind of like here down because my hair does tend to get oily. And it makes a massive, massive difference to how easy my hair is to detangle, because I do have a lot of fine hair. It is very, very tangly. Ever since I was small, I've always had that texture of hair. It's really irritating. I don't know if it's because it's wavy and so it just kind of wants to go all over the place, but it does take some getting the knots out every single time I wash it. And it just seems to smooth everything. It's not quite the same as the L'Oreal 8 Second Miracle. It isn't. But I've been enjoying this as kind of like a self-care ritual. So if I'm going to do a mask or something, I'll put a mask on my hair, I'll put a mask on my face, and I feel like I'm doing something for myself in a different way than I do for the 8 Second Miracle in the shower. So even if you just take away from that, hair masks before you wash your hair, 10 out of 10 would recommend. Another thing that was sent to me recently that I've been really enjoying is the Pixi Milky Remedy Mask. They sent me 3 of these, and this is my favourite because it's the Soothing Toning Jelly, and I have been using more aggressive, or rather my Skin and Me prescription now is slightly more aggressive. It's got like a higher percentage of the active ingredients in it, and so my skin is a little bit more sensitive than it has been. This is amazing for 2 reasons. Aside from those 2 reasons, first of all, it's absolutely massive. You also get a little spatula in there, so you don't have to, you know, double dip. Get it out with the little spatula, which, as you can imagine, I've never used and never intend to, but you can. It's a nice idea, nice to have it. Nice, if you know, I'm not going to use it. So I'll put it directly onto my face with my hand, because that's the kind of person that I am. But it's super, super soothing. It feels cool, refreshing. It kind of sets, but it doesn't dry out in the same way like a clay mask would. So I always leave it on for longer than you're supposed to leave it on for before you wash it off. But the main reason that it is absolutely amazing is that it is clear. So although it does make me look like I'm super, super oily, it's clear. It's like a gel. Super cool. Just very different to other masks that I have. You really don't need a lot at all. So this is just like an incredible amount of product. You could put on a thick layer, I suppose, but I don't see how that's going to make a massive difference, because it does kind of set to that and it will just look like that, which means that it is safe for work days. So if I want to pop this on in the morning, if I have a Teams call, nobody knows that I have a mask on. Yeah, maybe I look a bit shiny, but that's it. It's not obvious in the same way that it would be if I wore any other kind of mask. So for those of us who are working from home and reaping those things you can't do in the office benefits, this one's for you. And there are multiple different versions. There's vitamin C one, there's a rose one. The Milky one is the soothing one, and so that's the one that I have been gravitating towards. But I've also started using the other ones kind of like on my body. If I wanted to get an extra bougie situation, I'll kind of put the vitamin C on my chest or on my arms, because I do tend to get kind of breakouts and rough texture and stuff in those areas as well, because I had acne on my chest and my arms and my back as a kid. it's just nice to have that volume of product, so I feel like I can be a little bit more liberal with it. Right, 2 things I want to talk about that are non-beauty related. It occurred to me this week that I stopped doing these because I was going to do them as separate videos, and then I stopped doing those separate videos. So we're bringing back the entertainment portion of my Friday Faves and Fails. I actually do have a fail in the TV department. Maybe we'll talk about that first so I don't forget, and that would be 9 Perfect Strangers. I had 2 things that all through the summer kept getting subliminally, not so subliminally, advertised to me, and I was like, oh, I can't wait for these things to start. And they were 9 Perfect Strangers, which was on Amazon Prime in the UK, and Only Murders in the Building. Only Murders in the Building. I mean, you will, 9 Perfect Strangers, you've heard of that, right? It's got like Nicole Kidman, Melissa McCarthy, what is his name? Bobby Carnival. Tons of people in that show that made me want to watch it, and if you haven't watched it, it's just a waste of your time. Honestly, I've heard that the book is better, but I was so disappointed, and I really persevered thinking it's going to be amazing. It wasn't. I'd love to hear from those of you who loved it, because please explain. Only Murders in the Building, however, this is Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Selena Gomez, and it is based around 3 people who come together because they end up listening to the same true crime podcast, and someone is murdered in their building, and they decide to do a true crime podcast of their own about this murder and investigate it from within. Fantastic. It's still on. It's on Disney. We are a couple of episodes behind. In fact, by the time you see this, we will have caught up, because we wanted a couple at a time, because 1 episode is not enough. We wanted to be watching them 2 at a time. It's just so fantastic. We love Steve Martin and Martin Short anyway. And if you haven't seen their Netflix special, I can't remember what it's called, something like A Night That You Will Forget for the Rest of Your Life or something. That's from a few years ago, but that's really, really good. I love them together. And Selena Gomez just kind of, I thought initially she was just in there to bring in the younger crowd, but I quite like her character in it. And the 3 of them together have got they've got a nice vibe. They've got a good chemistry. Would recommend for all ages. I mean, maybe not all ages, but it doesn't seem super inappropriate. There is murder though. And then the other thing I wanted to talk about was Kacey Musgraves' album. Kacey Musgraves' new album, Starcrossed, I've been listening to non-stop. It's a bit of a departure from her usual stuff. She's kind of like a modern country singer. But all of her albums have been about a specific time in her life, and this is taking her through her divorce. And I love it. If you've never heard Kacey Musgraves' songs, start from the beginning. Same Trailer, Different Park, I think, was her debut album. I'll say that again without swallowing my words. Same Trailer, Different Park. Follow Your Arrow is a great introduction in terms of songs. I love her. And I've really, really enjoyed it. It has been a little bit different. Not everyone's enjoyed it the same as they have her previous ones, but she's one of the only people that I found from the very, very beginning, and I know every single one of her songs. And I saw her in real life, and she was great live. So yeah, they are my entertainment suggestions and to avoids. And that is it for this week's Friday Faves and Fails. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe, because there's going to be another one next Friday. And there was one last Friday, and there will be one for all of the Fridays to come. I also just posted a luxury self-care favourites on Wednesday, which was a sponsored video with Lily Silk. I would really appreciate you going and checking that out if you haven't already. And otherwise, I will see you guys on Sunday with a Primark haul.